Hello and welcome back to Unreal Engine 5 visual novel and narrative game design online course. In the last lesson we finished our enumeration script and I said something about data tables that we're gonna use. As I said in the first lesson, this is gonna be a data-driven gameplay. What this means actually. Let's begin with data tables are read-only. It means we cannot store information in data tables, we cannot manipulate information in data tables, as are enumerations. And what we're gonna do is basically what a data table is. It's a way to optimize your data, to categorize them, to organize them, and to have a cluster of data easily accessible. So basically it's like an Excel sheet. It's a Google sheet. It can be exported as a CSV file, comma separated value, and it has some rows and some columns. So how we use them? If this was Excel or Google Sheets or some similar program, we would have the first row empty. To use the A block would be the row number, which we would write nothing. We would leave completely empty because Unreal reads from this is 0A, reads from 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And besides A, which is our row number, we would have the column B, C, D, etc. Unreal would need a way to understand which column is which and what type of data is in that column. So what we do is we create a struct. I think this is the spelling, maybe without the K. Yeah, maybe without the K. Anyway, we create a struct, which is another type of data to manipulate data, to manipulate variables. A struct is another way, as I said, to collect data and have them in one variable type, which can be various data, can be booleans, can be strings, can be ints, can be anything, and you can call them easily. So data table is the more advanced version of struct, which needs a struct. So, well, don't take me for my word. It's not. We can cut this out, can't we, Lucas? Anyway, let's go on. So what we do is we use a struct to determine the types of data on the rows, on the columns and rows of the data table. Maybe a live example would be better. What we have here is the exported data table of our script. We also have the exported data table of everything because once you make it, it's easier to manipulate it on Google document, let's say. So we have the first line, which is the struct, and then we have the rows and the rows data, the row data. During the course, we're gonna reference this a lot on what is what and how it's working a bit. As you can see easily, this is the enumeration that we made. It's called special event. Maybe, yeah, I should actually rename this on the course. Actually, it doesn't need to be renamed here. It needs to be remade when we made the structure. So let's make the structure now. I'm gonna right click, go to blueprint, go to structure and call it st script. I'm gonna enter that. I'm gonna create 3 variables. The first one would be, now this is where it comes in handy to have them exported. The special event, the project, special event. The second one would be music, and the third one background. Yeah, you see, copy paste is always better. This was lazy there. If you have something misspelled, it has to match. Doesn't matter if it's misspelled, it has to match the rows on your exported data table. Because if this is different, even one letter, it won't work. So I need to check if it's misspelled. Anyway, now we need to set the types of this. The first one, special event, will be our enumeration script. Music would be a sound cue, and background would be texture 2D. Compile and save. Actually, just save. And now let's create the data table. We go right click and miscellaneous and data table. Now you see, when I click the data table, it requires to pick our row structure. As we described, these are the rows. So the structure that is here, it requires it. And go back. And here we select the structure that we have. st script. Compile. Save. And here is a new data table. Let's rename it to dt underscore script. Actually, testing script. And we open it. Now, we can see here exactly the same layout. We have, well, not exactly the same. We have this row name, which, as I said, it is a row here, which is our row name. This is why we leave this empty. You can always create it first here and then add it to the engine, but things can bug out. It's always a better practice to even make an example, export it as a CSV value. The way we export it is we just go to the file and right click and export as CSV, and we import it on the way we import it is we go to import, click, and we go to upload, and we browse to our file, our CSV file that we exported, and we upload it. In one, of course, some people know very well Excel, some people don't know it that easy. You can create multiple scripts on one sheet. You don't need to create new sheets every time. Anyway, we have our row name, our event, special event, our music, and our background. Now, if I add a new row, you can see it requires a row name. So I'm going to give this 1. And we have our enumeration here, the one we created. Let's say the first one is a dialogue. And we need to add a music. Let's add, doesn't matter. And a background, we add one background. And suddenly it's all filled. And if you export it, and if you have, let's say, booleans that you need 1, 0, 1, 0, true, false, basically, and you can manipulate it easier from a Google Sheet. Now, about row names, as we said, we're going to create a loop on the script that when you press click, It decides based on the enumeration, which is read by the data table, and it decides what to do. Now, for this purpose, I just chose 1, 2, 3, 4. But as we progress, we're gonna see how we can say, let's say, Q1, and we have the Q1Y, Q1 no, and then we have Q2. But all this is on the same data table. Yeah, anyway, this is on the same row. So yeah, you can do plenty of things with the name conventions, and you can create your own systems. That's one of the interesting things of the data tables. Anyway, I think that's enough for this one. We're gonna continue on the next. Goodbye.